Man, I wasn't even going to keep quiet about what I had just found. Chrissy Lampkin did Jim foul, and not just any foul, I'm talking about a betrayal of the highest magnitude. He lost $7 million, but it wasn't lost or misplaced, it was merely taken from him by the lady he was going to call his wife. And the worst part is that she took everything, and Chrissy left behind one dry-ass text with no explanation, no tears, just a damn emoji, bro. This isn't a reality TV drama, it's a straight-up setup, and now he's crazy and out flipping chairs, punching walls, and pacing like a storm about to break. The craziest part is that she wasn't able to do this alone. Someone from Jim's inner circle assisted her in planning it. That's right, when money is involved, blood isn't thicker than paper, and you're going to throw your phone across the room when you find out where it went. No cap, forget cheating. Imagine waking up and imagine Jim pacing his apartment at 2 in the morning, red-eyed, sweating, and clenching and unclenching his fists. The only light in the room is the TV, which is ironically playing Old Love, and by recognizing that your entire existence was a trap and that this rabbit hole is deeper than you believe, episodes of hip-hop that are like some nasty jokes when Chrissy disappears, there is no sound, no sign, and no goodbye. Jim goes to the safe. This is the moment that everything changes because when he opens it, there is nothing inside, not only missing money, but every contract, USB drive, and cash stockpile all gone, save for one item. One gold bracelet. Chrissy's signature appears to be a stamp in the center, as if she were stating, "Yeah, I did it." Jim collapses to his knees, gasping for air, the kind of gasp you take just before you lose it, and texts her directly to voicemail. Delivered but never opened. You're curious about what was on those lost USBs. Who had access to his tour earnings? A full cryptocurrency wallet, and the sole copy of a deal he was negotiating to launch a TV program under his name? That's a digital punch to the stomach worth $2.5 million, you know now, but wait, it gets worse. 2 hours go by. Jim's phone rings, and he receives a message saying, "Check your email, don't call me." He opens his inbox, and then there's a video attachment with shaky footage that seems like it was captured by a hotel hallway security camera. Timestamp 3 days ago, you saw Chrissy sneaking into a motel wearing a black hoodie Miami suite with another person. Pause and zoom in. You won't believe how strange Zeke is. On his first day, Jim's realist brother, a dipset, initially believes his eyes are deceiving him, but then another camera viewpoint captures him walking away. 4 hours later, Chrissy was carrying a heavy folder. Zeke, a full backpack, and Chrissy chuckles. That trust was broken like glass as Jim's phone fell out of his hand and smashed on the ground. This isn't just about money anymore, it's about betrayal, it's about family, and it only gets worse when the lady he trusted picks a bag over the boss who gave her his entire heart. Here is a screenshot of a court document with a slightly obscured confidential seal that yet shows Jim Jones's name clearly. Nobody anticipated the appearance of Chrissy Lampkin and a third identity, Angela Reyes. Who the hell is Angela? Instead of waiting, social media investigators went full CSI, and it turns out that Angela was Chrissy's ride or die back in 2012. Then she disappeared, no goodbye posts, no fallout, no drama, just erased from Chrissy's life as if she had never been there. Rumors circulated that Jim had crossed boundaries, but the whole truth was never known until now because Tweet 4 was the bomb that opened the internet. Chrissy's voice breaks through the tears, and the note is distorted but genuine. He believes that I'm cruel, but he forgot what he did to me, to Angela. I didn't forget, I simply waited for my turn, and that's when it all became clear. This wasn't about the millions, we're the victims of this cold and gradual retaliation. While viewers are still processing the Angela narrative, another clip surfaces, and then another explosion occurs. This time, Chrissy didn't steal to harm his finances. Instead, she struck where it would bruise his soul and make him feel abandoned and helpless like she previously did. A week prior to Jim's widely shared Instagram Live, a screen capture of the studio's surveillance footage shows Chrissy entering alone and departing with a laptop, not just any laptop, but Jim's main vault, which had all of his unreleased tracks, contract folders, and other files. Here's the amazing: access was given, and the studio log reveals that a key card belonging to Free Kaziki was used to unlock the door once more. The internet is going crazy right now, team. Dr. Team versus Chrissy Jim is officially at war, and she finally stood up for him when the comment sections turned into battlefields. You're all upset at her. She had been planning this for years. Snake energy, and when Jim broke her first, she just switched the game, boss. You thought that was the finale, but then, here comes Mama Jones. Jim's mother appears on Instagram Live, her hair covered in a robe, her Bible open on the table, and she gives the sermon point. 10 years ago, I told my child not to let a woman handle his finances, but he was in love and foolish. The person who did it sat in my house, grinned in my face, lied shamelessly, and then without blinking, she pointed directly at the television as her voice breaks and she looks broken and embarrassed. Chrissy, you're observing, bring back what isn't yours because God doesn't toy with stolen blessings. The media has gone crazy, and gossip blogs are now overflowing the feeds. TMZ makes a false headline. According to an insider, if nonprofit funds were mishandled, the FBI might intervene. She has done this by setting comment sections on fire at its federal time now, and if they link this to a prison foundation, forget reality TV. It just become a crime doc, and just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, a certified ghostwriter in the music industry who knows how to leak receipts tweeted, y'all ain't ready. It's not who you think. Chrissy truly wired those 7 hours, and when it drops, it's going to get extremely ugly. Just pure suspense, no name, no evidence. Followed by radio silence. Chrissy deletes all accounts. Gone 3 days in a row with no communication on the Jim socials, not a breath, not a post. The silence is louder than the drama, and everyone is waiting and refreshing their feeds to know that this isn't over. Then, just when the excitement fades, for a moment, Chrissy makes a single post again. Fire, no statement, no apologies, it's an image. Her red-nailed hand holding a pen and a wad of cash statements that are clearly visible. Caption, don't blame the wolf when you taught the snakes how to hiss. Another bomb dropped 1 million likes in an hour, with no identities or denials, just a warning. Then, the true shock came when an enigmatic Twitter thread revealed an anonymous account with no followers. Tweet 1, you guys think Chrissy just snapped this? Been building since 2012? Tweet 2, a grainy image of a legal doc, with 3 names visible, Jim Jones, like a Netflix documentary in text format. People begin to wonder, who the hell are Chrissy Lampkin and Angela Reyes? Is that Angela? Then it dawns on old school fans that Angela was Chrissy's best friend before she disappeared. No post, no farewell, just gone, and now Chrissy's voice, purportedly from a leaked voicemail, is becoming viral. It wasn't about the millions, it was about shattering Jim where it wounded him the most, his pride, his power, his image, and precisely when it couldn't get any more toxic. I didn't take the money to hurt him, I did it because he never expressed regret for what he had done to her. Leaks of security footage. Chrissy enters Jim's secret studio and leaves 40 minutes later holding his laptop, the same one that has unreleased music contracts. Using Freaky Zeke's key card, yes, Jim's own. Dipe it, brother, the crypto wallet door was opened. At this point, it has choose a squad in an open battle in the streets. Cancel Chrissy trends. Chrissy starts to trend more, and then the woman who ate at my table, grinned in my face, and lied to my son about touching that foundation money in blood is an example of Mama Jones going live without any glitz or filter. Opponent. She says a scary line to terminate the live stream. Chrissy, may God deal with you, cause I'm done being nice. When a blogger reveals this teaser, everyone is shaken. I know where the money went and who Chrissy paid off, and it will wreck someone's life. The timeline stops, and fans stop breathing, and suddenly Chrissy's account vanishes, with no more posts. Within minutes of Chrissy disappearing from social media, the internet exploded, with hashtags flying like shrapnel. Jim was silent, but that silence was shouting. Chrissy was conned. Jim Jones Dipset drama. Jim Freeshi used 2 Twitter accounts. Clubhouse rooms were reopened, and people stopped debating and instead took sides, as if it were a war. One viral tweet claimed that Chrissy wasn't just stealing from Jim, she was stealing from all of us who believed in love, and we reposted it. The celebrity shade Camilla tweeted a popcorn emoji and said, y'all, years ago, Remy Ma liked a post that read, this is why you never put your woman on the radar screen. Then, the female Frank Ocean vanished after dropping heat, but in this instance, the heat was a heist. Documentation. Additionally, Fat Joe shared a mysterious video on social media, stating, "You guys keep making these people relationship goals. In the meantime, when it's your own man, that's different. I'm trying to tell you that this Hollywood love isn't meant to endure." Even though Cardi B dived in writing money and doing crazy things, the blogosphere went into full-on beast mode. According to secret insider information released by the Shade Room Hollywood Unlocked and Gossip of the City, Chrissy had been organizing the vacation for months, that the purchases made in Dubai were a part of a financial departure strategy, and that she never meant to marry Jim, just to take advantage of him. Disappearance. Then the phony audio leak appeared, a voicemail purportedly from Chrissy to her cousin saying, "Let them talk, I don't owe the world nothing, I did what I had to do, and if fans flipped you, you had to steal 7 mailers." This woman redefined betrayal, while Jim's silence. Only fans went crazy for Jim's villain arc whenever he tweeted a blank screen or a Drake quote, and now he's planning to release a disc album called Stolen Hearts and Wire Transfers. Even streaming services got in and included Ballin' to their playlist titled Betrayed Feelings on Spotify. Talkers created acting skits. The craziest part is that Chrissy sneaked into the studio and posted phony wedding invitations with the word "cancelled" stamped on her face on Instagram. Org petition began to gather popularity under the title, "Make Chrissy Reimburse the Hundreds of Fans Who Signed ITAS." The dust seemed to settle and viewers believed they had witnessed the worst final. The narrative of Chrissy's betrayal continued to grow. This was not only Jim Zell's pain. It was the public's, since they expected justice but also felt duped. Today an anonymous Dropbox link began making the rounds late at night on Reddit, Twitter, and Discord under the folder named, "Proof She Wasn't Alone." What's within is a collection of screenshots, audio recordings, bank transfers, and the real bomb, a full-fledged NDA contract signed by Cameron, Chrissy Lampkin, and someone no one anticipated. The man who constructed with Jim, performed with him, bled Harlem with him. And now the contract reveals that he earned $450,000 sent via a disguised LLC. Mr. Killer Ham dips its own general. The identical one connected to Chrissy's offshore account causes the internet to go crazy. But wait, camera was involved. This whole thing was an inside job, and now that it's over, people are starting to connect the dots. Cam stopped showing up with Jim months ago, there were no shoutouts, shows, or collaborations, and now everything makes sense. Chrissy didn't simply shatter Jim's affection. This is where things go south, since she broke his circle and flipped the one man Jim didn't see coming. Chrissy was never going to pay me what I deserved, so I grabbed it, and Cam promised to keep Jim busy while he waited. One of the voice notes that was leaked shows Chrissy speaking to someone on speaker. What diverted their attention? Then came the final drop, the largest one yet, and a low-resolution picture that was clearly taken without their knowledge showed Chrissy, Cameron, and a third person at a rooftop club in Dubai. The third person was Angela Reyes, who was sitting next to Chrissy, smiling and relaxed. Jim was only the piece getting moved across the board, but just as the internet erupts, Jim adds, fans flatlined. Nah. Don't tell me they were all in on it this whole time. This wasn't payback, this was strategy. A long con. One Instagram story, something, no emojis or phrases, just a single picture back in the studio, Jim's bloodshot eyes, clutching that missing laptop. Zoom in on a yellow sticky note with 4 words written in big red ink. "You missed one file," and the screen went dark. There was no sound, no caption, no follow-up. The entire internet is awake and the fans are glued to the screen because this story is far from over. You witnessed the betrayal, heard the leaks, and watched the internet meltdown over $7 million that simply disappeared as if it had never even happened. Jim's heart is in pieces. Circle in ruins, his faith was non-existent, and Chrissy didn't leave alone. Instead, she left the game with backup camera and Angela, a squad of silence and shadows. Now, we must ask, was this always part of the plan, or was Chrissy simply picking up the slack? Since Jim left pieces shattered 10 years ago, some of you are already offering justifications by stating, well, Jim had his dirt too. However, if you believe this chapter was crazy, please let me know in the comments who the villain is, without any sugarcoating or filters. Simply wait till the file is revealed. Word on the street doesn't just burn, so Chrissy neglected to remove the one Jim teased. This drama is just getting started, so remember to hit that subscribe button if your jaw drops at least once. Chrissy, it flips the entire script. The bell. Because they might not want you to see the following episode. Part 2 will reveal the truth, which will leave scars rather than just stings.